Hello, this is going to be a tutorial on how to do Bowser's Lava Lair, the first star, or Bowser's Lava Lair 1 for SMG2 any%. A couple things I want to point out is this is specifically going to be strats you want to do for any%. So this is not going to be for like ILs or anything. And also I'm going to be doing the stage as Mario, so if you like doing the stage as Luigi, this won't apply to you. Also, I am only going to be showing the level here. I'm not going to be showing the Bowser fight because I feel like that's too self-explanatory. So this is a tutorial for the entirety of the stage and not really anything specific in it because there is a lot that goes into the stage and it's just a bunch of small things that need some explaining. First of all, if you're going to practice this stage, you're going to want to watch these cutscenes because there are cycles that matter. So at the start of this stage, you're going to do some long jumps forward. There's a Kamek up here that you're supposed to kill to make a pole star up here, but you can easily skip that by just doing 4 long jumps. You can just long jump past it, spin right around when you reach the fireballs, and then you grab on into there. And now you get over here, and there's a few ways you can go about this section. You can either take this spring, which is the intended strat, or if you want to skip the spring, you can just go around here, side flip facing downwards, and then spin, and you should get caught in gravity here. This is actually a little bit finicky, but if you get the timing down, it shouldn't be too precise. One thing that can happen is if you try to move immediately after landing, sometimes Mario will just if Mario kind of starts running around in circles, then you kind of want to let go of the control stick for a second so that Mario will stop moving because he's just going to keep running in circles until you do that. Once you land, you're going to try to navigate past these fireballs, and you're going to want this super mushroom over here, because that'll give you the 3 extra bits of health. These platform cycles can sometimes not want to cooperate, so what I think is best is waiting for one of these platforms to get kind of around close to it, and then you long jump over to it, and then you can long jump past it. If you take damage from those fireballs, it doesn't matter. There's coins in the next section. Now, from this point onwards, it is imperative that you do not go below 4 health, because there is a skip at the end of this level that requires you to have at least 4 health. And once you go below 4 health, you can't get the extra 3 health back. There is another super mushroom in this level, but it is very out of the way. So once you do that, you just break this crystal and take this launch star. So now you have a couple of different options here. I'll show the easier method first. So what you're intended to do here is you're supposed to go along this path, and then you're supposed to kill this hammer bro to make a sling star here. You can actually skip it by just triple jumping up here, and then you can go over here and you can launch above this button, and you then land on that item block down below. That's slower, but I just want to show you that that is an option if you want it. What's actually the faster option is to instead head over to this platform, the one that has the one that I just grabbed, and you're gonna long jump off of it, off the up left edge, off the up left corner, and you're gonna want to try to long jump as late as possible. And this is actually a fairly risky strat because this is going to require lava boosting, which obviously will take damage, and you want to get 2 lava bounces from it. Again, and you can't get any less, and any more than that means that you lose the extra 3 bits of health, and you need that. So what is the safest strat to do for this is to long jump off this corner, and then you're going to aim for this wall. It doesn't really matter specifically where you aim. Also, these things kind of flip you up, and if they happen to flip you up like that, just spin, and you can land back on the platform. You don't have to do the wall jump, but it's super safe. And then once you wall jump off of it, just land in the lava. If you want the extra distance, you can add a spin to that, but you shouldn't have to. So it will look something like this. So as you can see there, I just kind of wall jump. You want to be holding left the entire time once you get the wall jump, and then just take 2 lava bounces, and then you should end up down here. Now here you actually have a variety of different options to use, so my cycles are super off. So this is the part with the 2 womps, and the comet medal's in here, and if you're going to be doing any %, you want the comet medal. There's actually several different ways you can go about getting it. So the method that I normally use is, first of all, I grab this coin for safety. The method that I normally use is I just kind of long jump, I go underneath this swamp, and then once I get here, I do a triple jump. And since that womp will be on a different cycle, normally I'll like ledge grab the back of him. If you want to go for like actually fast strats, you can do what's known as a triple lava boost. You can do you can do lava boost storage, which I don't really want to try to demonstrate it. Basically, you double jump from here, land in the lava, and then land over here. And once you stop, once you like regain control of Mario, you should be able to immediately enter a triple jump state when you press A. This is actually fairly precise, and I don't normally go for this, but it's a very top level runner strat, so it would look a little something like this. And then you would just use that to grab the comment, and then you would like jump off the wall there. So then you get over here, and then you ground pound this meteor to open the gate, and then you want to double jump onto this asteroid, long jump off of it, and then spin, just to kind of get a little extra distance. Then you want to grab this checkpoint for safety. Alright, I'm going to grab this point over here also for safety. I mean, you wouldn't normally do that, but I just want that point for safety. Okay, so here's the tricky part, and this is the part where you need at least 4 health. So I can't go into first person mode right now, but if you see over there, that's the final snake block of the level, and then that takes you past the Bowser statues that shoot lasers at you. And so what you're going to want to do is this strat will allow you to skip both of these snake block auto-scrollers and put you on the path right towards the final meteors. So this is actually a kind of awkward strat that requires you to have really good spacing. So what the best way to go about this is to long jump as close to the edge as you can while holding down right. Or at least some sort of down right angle, and then spin right before the camera changes. And then afterwards, you're gonna land in the lava once, and then you're gonna lava bounce twice, and then you're gonna land on the first statue. Just continue holding forward the entire time, and don't do anything when you land on the first statue. Then you're gonna hit the lava again, and once you land on the second statue, you're going to immediately start long jumping. And continue this for the duration of the remaining 2 statues, and if you space it out correctly, you should be able to make it without too many issues. So what you do is you long jump off here, spin right around the camera change, and then line yourself up with the first statue, bounce off the first statue. Okay, so I actually kind of messed that up a little bit. Okay. So you kind of get the idea. I was trying to kind of delay my long jump because actually I'll show you where the other super mushroom is, so I can demonstrate the strat again. So if you don't really want to do either of the lava boosting strats, you can just go over here and take these snake blocks, and then there's a super mushroom right over here if you want some extra health. I'm only grabbing this so I can head back. Alright. Safety one up, I like that. There. So, okay, this is a very awkward camera. I'm not used to this camera, so this is going to be kind of interesting. Alright, let's give this a whirl. So this is actually a better camera angle, actually. So you see that first statue, that's kind of what you want to be lined up with. Oh. Controls here are really weird. I actually have never seen this. Alright, so if you get... Okay, this isn't gonna work. If that happens, just land on the floor of the statue, and then... Okay, I don't mean to back it. So, like, if you get this kind of situation where you, like, can't land on it, and instead you land on this floor over here, you kind of want to jump up and then try wall jumping onto the statue, but you kind of get the general idea. If you don't have 3 HP when going into this section, one backup shot you can do is you can go onto this little block over here and then long jump with a kind of straight right angle, spin right before the camera change, and then try to land on this snake block, and then head over to the statues and try long jumping across them. If you don't feel safe about your angle, which I almost never do, then you can add spins to each of the long jumps, but that's just a much safer way of going about it. Alright, so I know that was kind of a lot to take in, so I'm gonna kind of go through the stage one more time and Kind of try to touch on a few extra things if I can. And I know I made that snake block skip look really difficult, but that's also because it's harder to explain when you're trying to demonstrate it. So again, once you land here, if you get a jump cancel there, you can make this 4 long jumps, but without, otherwise you can just do, you can make it 3 long jumps, but otherwise just do 4. But over here, try to facing downwards. Let go right before you land and then hold up, and then try to long jump over here. You actually kind of want to wait a little bit before you long jump over to there because those platforms otherwise will be too early and you'll just fall in the lava. And again, it doesn't matter too much because there's coins here. So then you can grab that coin, head over here, long jump off that corner. Sometimes when you hit that wall and press A, you'll just jump instead of wall jump. If that happens, you're forced to do 3 lava boosts to get down there. Again, you just go underneath the swamp, and then my strat is I just give a triple jump. Sometimes I can get a ledge grab off that one if I'm early enough, but that time I have to do a wall jump. Meteor, ground pound edge, double jump onto the asteroid, off, spin. Alright, now I'm going to try to show off this strat. So long jump with a down right angle, spin right around the camera change. I should probably point out that if it doesn't look like your spacing is too good, like if you land kind of far back on the second statue, then you're going to want to kind of wait, like, you're going to want to wait just a tiny bit before you initiate the long jumps. Otherwise, you might be too far back for the third statue and you won't make it. Yeah, once you get over here, you just long jump. I bounce off the hammer bro so that I can get good movement. And then you would just go over here and ground pound these meteors into the blocks, and then you would fight Bowser. So hopefully I did a good job of explaining that. Hopefully I went through as many possible options as you can. So if you have any questions, just ask, and I will do my best to answer them. I hope this tutorial helps you out.